Alright, welcome back everybody. Today we're going to be making homemade pot pie, and we're doing ham pot pie today. So we went ahead and cooked a whole spiral ham last night that we had for dinner, and these are all of our leftovers. In this bag here we have our bone, our ham bone, with a little bit of meat on it still. We haven't got to pick it yet. And then both of these bags are, well, the bag and the container are pieces of ham that we're going to go ahead and shred up and throw in our pot here. We did save the juice from our ham when we cooked it last night, so that's in the fridge. We have about 1.5 quart jar of it. Ideally, you would want to cook down your soup bones so you have extra broth. If it's very salty, you can go ahead and add water, but you want to make sure you have enough broth to cook your noodles in. You can always add some chicken broth too, or veggie broth, whatever you have on hand. So basically what we're doing is we're just shredding up our pieces of ham and putting them in our pot for right now. We're kind of just prepping everything at the moment. You can do however much ham you want. If you want a decent amount in, you can also throw potatoes in if you want it to stretch a little further. Personally, I do not like potatoes in mine, so we are going to be skipping that. So basically it's ham, we're going to make some homemade noodles, and then our broth. Now when you do ham, you don't need to add salt or anything like that. It's very salty enough. You can always add salt later if it needs. And we're going to add some pepper and probably a little bit of parsley. You can honestly do whatever spices you want in it, but that's your basic typical spices that you put in it. So we're going to finish shredding up our ham here, and then we'll move on to our pot pie noodles. So we have our ham broth in here, and we also added a little bit of beef broth to it as well to get enough liquid. And then we have all of our pieces of ham in this container. So we're going to go ahead and get this heated up on the stove. While it's heating up, we're going to hop over to the other counter and make our noodles. Okay, so for our noodles, we added 2.5 cups of flour, and then we put 2 eggs in the middle of our flour and we mix them in. And then we also have a tablespoon of butter. You can use, that's what the recipe calls for, is butter. You can use shortening, olive oil, or lard, whatever you would like. And then a 1/3 cup of water and a teaspoon of salt. Now you're gonna add more water as you need, as you mix it up here. You can do this on the counter or you can do it in a bowl. The recipe actually calls for it to be done on the counter. I like doing it in a bowl because it's less mess that you have to clean up it. Just remember, these noodles are a little bit different consistency than when you're making like pie dough or something like that. But we do need to get a little bit more water and add in here. So we're going to get this to the right consistency, and then we're going to cut out our noodles. Now that our broth is almost boiling, we're going to go ahead and add our dough. You can roll your dough out on the counter and cut it into squares, or you can just roll it into little balls by hand, which is what we're going to be doing today. Now make sure you don't put it all in at one time, or you're going to end up with one big dough ball. So we're just going to make whatever shapes you want. You can twist, you can make balls, whatever. Just put a couple in at a time. Then you're going to use your spoon, push them down under the broth, and then wait a couple more minutes and add some more, and then they're going to cook for a total of 10 to 12 minutes once you get all of them in your broth. Alright, so our soup has been boiling for about 10 minutes. We're just going to stir it again here really quick. And we're going to add our ham and all of our seasonings in. We're going to carefully pour our ham in here, just not splash ourselves. Parsley, and some pepper, and then we're going to put some minced onion in as well. We can add salt later if we need, but since it's ham, you probably don't need salt. it down to low and let it sit on low for about 15 minutes, and then it'll be ready to serve. I put a little too much liquid in my soup, so we're just going to thicken it up with some flour. So basically what we did was we put flour in our bowl here, and then we're just adding some hot liquid in with our flour and whisking it until we get all the lumps out. And then we're going to add it back in slowly to our big pot.